At the end of 2022, just a couple months ago, my Instagram account at Stephanie Lynn Case hit 100,000 followers, which is just absolutely insane to think about that many people following me. So in this video, I wanted to share basically what are the main things that I believe led to that follower growth and how I was able to grow that account. Especially most of that follower growth came in the last 2 years, okay? So I want to share exactly how that happened, how my account basically has exploded over the past couple of years when it comes to growing my personal brand as a content creator and what that has looked like. The first thing that I really truly believe led to so much follower growth for me is having a personal brand. I was willing to show up and show myself, show my face, the things that I loved, my life, and over the years that has looked a lot different. So I first started the account back in, I think it was 2015 when I really started to take it seriously. So that was literally 7 years ago, over 7 years ago, which is absolutely insane. And when I first started it, I started it because I was a photographer wanting to market my services as a photographer, but I also decided and was very intentional that I wanted to be very personally branded. Like I wanted my clients to know me as a person. I didn't want them to just feel like they were hiring any photographer. And so my Instagram account was a big part of that and sharing my personal brand and me and my life. And I decided pretty much from the very beginning that at least half of my content was going to be personal and going to be about me, not just what I offered. And that has served me really well over the years in growing my business. I went from being a photographer to online education, and I pivoted that account and took it along with me because I was growing a personal brand. And then eventually I decided to just move my business to a different account at Stephanie Case Education. And that account became very personal and just about me and my life as a personal brand. And so if I didn't decide to show myself and to show who I am, what I love, my life, and more recently my life into becoming a mom and balancing being a mom and a business owner and what that looks like and having twins and all of those fun things, I would not have seen the growth that I've seen. People are following me for me, right? And because they want to learn more about me and my life. And if I wasn't willing to show myself, I definitely wouldn't have seen that growth. The second thing that I really believe led to growth is showing up consistently for my community. Over the years, there have definitely been seasons and times where I'm not able to show up and post on Instagram very often or even like every single day. And that's something that I talk a lot about. I really don't believe you have to post on Instagram every single day in order to see awesome growth. But I do think showing up and posting consistently over time has served me so well when it has come to my Instagram account. And sometimes it has looked like there are seasons where I can pour so much into growing my Instagram and showing up consistently and sharing reels and photo posts and stories every day and all of those things. And then there are seasons where I need all the low effort content I can get, if you know what I'm talking about, like just the easy stories I can share, the easy reels I can share just to simply show up for my community. And for me, it's important that I am showing up for them because they have in return given me so much. And I really do believe that when you share content, it really is about so much more than just views, right? And obviously there's times where I can pour more into my content and probably see a little bit faster growth when it comes to my reach and the followers that I'm gaining. But there's sometimes where I don't have the capacity in that season to do that, and I am simply just showing up as I am. And sometimes it's just going to be low effort, easy content that might not necessarily be my best performing content, but I'm okay with that, right? Because I'm still showing up and connecting with my people. And honestly, at the end of the day, just showing up and doing the work. And sometimes that's what it takes. I have just realized so much over the past 7 years that Instagram is so much more like a marathon than a sprint when it comes to growing it sustainably and growing it like growing a community who's actually engaged with you. Yes, it is possible to see fast growth. I've gone through seasons where I've seen a lot of fast growth. More recently, I grew by about, I think it was like 30,000 followers in just a couple of months. Insanity. It was absolutely crazy, but I just want to share like overall, there's a lot of growing pains that come with that, a lot of trying to engage your new followers, and your engagement rate usually drops, and you're trying to engage them and have them see your content and all those different things. So there's a lot of good and bads about it, and I really, at the end of the day, just want to make sure that I am showing up for my people consistently and not worrying about just the numbers, and doing that in little chunks over time. Instagram's not something you can just show up and post for 3 hours one day for a month and then just go ghost the rest of the month and expect to see a lot of growth, right? It takes consistently showing up in little chunks over time, like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, another 5 minutes here, in order to see that growth and to engage your community. The third thing that I truly believe has led to all of that growth, and this might not come as a surprise if you know me, and that is Instagram Reels and posting Reels. And Reels has become a huge part of the platform, obviously, and it's been really awesome because since they came out, Reels are primarily pushed to a cold audience, which means the people who are viewing your Reels primarily are non-followers, especially when they start to gain views outside of your own following. It's people who don't know who you are, and that's really how I've been able to get in front of literally millions of eyes and to then gain thousands and thousands of followers is by creating Reels and creating Reels around my niche, right? And so kind of going along with that, I think one of the main things that has made my Reels so impactful for my account and have converted a lot of followers from those views I'm getting on Reels is creating Reels that non-followers would find interesting and that relates to my niche. So when a non-follower sees a Reel, they're like, oh, that was funny or entertaining or educational, and then they go to my account and there's a lot of content related to that same topic and it makes sense for them to follow me. And we actually have a free Reels class called How to Grow Your Reach, Followers, and Customers, where I talk way more about this and specifically how to grow a brand or business on Instagram and just my experience and the things that I have learned and the things that we have found that works really well when you're trying to have a really pinpointed Reel strategy. So if you're interested in joining and watching that class, we'll have a link right below in the description. And also, if you're finding this video really helpful, we would love it if you gave it a quick thumbs up and hit subscribe because we upload new videos every week and we'd love to share more with you guys on a weekly basis. The fourth thing that I believe truly has led to so much follower growth for me, and this is kind of going off of what I was just talking about, and that is having a defined brand and defining my own brand and what it is. I believe growing on Instagram is a lot more about having a very strong, defined brand and having great messaging, knowing how to market yourself, than it is about just knowing how to go viral, okay? You wanna make sure that you have a brand, you know exactly the kind of people you're trying to reach. You give people a reason to follow you, right? And think about why would someone wanna hit the follow button? And who is that person? What are they like? What are the things that they need help with? And how can you come in and help them or inspire them or entertain them, right? You really wanna make it super obvious the kind of people you want to attract to the point where you are repelling people. Like if there are people who go to your profile, to your bio and think, oh, like this is not for me. Like I do not want to follow her, like swipe away. You want that. You want some people who are going to do that because it means that you're doing a good job of creating a very defined brand. You're attracting the people that you want to attract. And this really goes past just colors and fonts and things like that, like the visual parts of your brand. It really comes down to also like your message, your content themes, your ideal client, your specific niche, like all those different things and working through all of that, which if you already have a business, like that's something to really work through anyway and to make a priority and making sure that you're attracting the right people to your business, making sure you have a strong brand, right? But once you have that in place, applying it to your Instagram is only going to be just help you to fast track your growth even faster. The fifth thing that I believe has led to a lot of growth for my Instagram account, especially in the past couple of years, is analyzing my insights on a monthly basis. So at least once a month, I am taking a deep dive into my insights and seeing what's working, what's not working, because if you don't check what's working and not working, like how will you know? How will you know what's actually doing well in your account if you're not actually checking on that, right? And so I'm looking at things like Reels, photo posts, stories, and thinking about what's working well in terms of views, but I'm also thinking about what's working well in other metrics too, right? Because views aren't everything, okay? So we want to make sure we're looking at like comments, saves, shares, DM replies, link clicks, different metrics like that can be really helpful, especially depending on what your goals are. If your goals, like maybe your goal for that month was to get people to sign up for your email list that month, then looking at link clicks and what stories are getting you the most link clicks, not just views, is going to be helpful for you to know what kinds of stories to make to get those link clicks, right? Or maybe you're looking at trying to increase your community and your engagement and trying to get more replies and DM replies. Look at the stories that typically get more DM replies and see what's getting your audience to talk to you and how can you create more stories based on that. Or maybe you can look at what has gotten you the most views, right? When it comes to if you're trying to gain followers, if that's a goal for you, look at that, look at your views and see, okay, like what kinds of Reels are getting me those views that then are converting to followers and how can I create more similar Reels? We actually have on our YouTube channel a full tutorial on Instagram Insights. So if you want to go jump over to that and watch that next, we'll put a link right over here, and also a link will be in the description if you want to hop over there and watch that, where we teach you basically everything you need to know about insights and a little walkthrough of how to use it and like what all the different features are and how you can walk through it for yourself and analyze your own insights. If you haven't already, also be sure to hit subscribe on our channel. We would love for you to stick around because I upload new videos every single week. We also, if you are someone who's been subscribed for a while, I think you're gonna really love this. So I don't know if I've actually mentioned a YouTube video before. Maybe I have, but we actually have a podcast called the Stephanie Case Podcast. So if you want to learn more about, it's more focused on the behind the scenes of my business and the things that I am doing, my business as a whole, even outside of content creation, like launch reports and talking about finances and even talking about how I'm growing here on YouTube, things like that. If you are interested, we're going to put a link right below too if you want to check it out and learn more, because we upload new podcast episodes every Monday. So the day before a YouTube video goes live, you also get a podcast episode, and they're usually a little longer form. Like a lot of them are closer to 30 minutes long. And obviously you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, and you're able to listen on the go while you're doing other things. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to check that out. And as always, if you have any questions, be sure to let us know in the comments. We're here for you guys. We're so happy to have you in our community, and we will see you next week. Bye guys.